Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening as we roll into the evening time here. We're back out at Buffalo Wild Wings talking a little Menard softball. And no, I'm not Tom Boucher, but filling in for him and hope to have an enjoyable night with it, joined with Coach Scully. And it is Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. But tonight it's a little different. I think we got a double dose of Scully coming.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard. So that's pretty cool. I have a question before we get started and get into it, because I see your notes, and there's not going to be a lot of time for me to talk in this. You guys sitting on an 8-game winning streak right now. Last time I was here, we did the Blazing Wings Challenge. Is that right?
That's right.
How many games have you lost since that win?
We haven't lost any.
I just wanted to get that out in the open before we got good. But congratulations on a great run that you guys seem to be putting it together.
Absolutely. It's just we're just trying to find our way, and I think we have. We're everything's clicking on all cylinders. Everybody's doing their job and owning up. The ownership was the word 2 weeks ago,
right?
And they've stuck to it, and here we are at 8-0 and 12-10 on the year.
4-0 in district too.
4-0 in district. District, people take district for granted. We take district very seriously.
Right.
In 2 tough games in our opponents in Rose Pine and Oakdale. Oakdale was a tough one. We had to come from behind. We've come from behind in the last 5 games,
right,
to win, and so that says a lot about our players.
When we talked a couple of weeks ago, when we were on the show, it was pitching. And then it was, you talked about times when you had gotten down, you didn't see a lot of that fight. And listening to you tonight, those 2 things, you have taken that ownership of it.
Yeah, and we have. And we challenge the ladies every week. Those young ladies, man, they're working hard. The biggest thing was to put it in their place,
right.
Put it in their court, see what they're going to do with it. And, overall as a team, we batting .331. 2 weeks ago, we were batting .310.
Right.
And that little percentage has made that difference.
What do you think ties all of that together? What's the success been? What is it, just continued hard work, or what's been the key to it?
I think the biggest thing is, and 4 of the 6 are starters on softball. They've been basketball. They've been involved in basketball. That's hard to focus up on what's going on. But sticking to what we know as coaches. I give a lot of credit to Coach Julio. He handles all of the hitting, and every day I task him with, hey, it's your job. You've got to get this done. And look, he doesn't even check up. He holds them accountable. Some days they don't like us. Some days they like us.
Right.
But when you're winning, everybody likes you.
It's the players when you win and the coaches when you lose.
Exactly.
So you looked and look, there's not a coach, and we do a lot of coaching shows. There's not a coach that comes in with the statistics that you do on there. Tell me some of the highlights over these last 8 games we'll take.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not a stat guy, so that's why I had to write it down.
I got you.
I don't really care about stats.
Okay.
I care about the win-loss column,
right.
and I don't really care about that.
Right.
What is the outcome? Are we getting better, and what are we preparing for? And if you ask any one of our girls, they're going to say, we worried about the last playing date of the year. We want to be on the field on the last fire, and she wasn't on instant, but Sophie Giordano has done a really good job in the last.
Every week, every show that we have, it's another young lady that's stepping up. They're not sitting there on one person waiting for someone else to do it. Look, I may not do something 1, 2, 3 times, but here comes my opportunity, and they're zoned in for that moment on there. So how important is it to spread that all around?
It is very important, and we talk about this as a team all the time. When you got Emma Davis leading off or Sawyer Shelton leading off, you kind of leave them. You expect them to do it.
Right.
But when you're getting down and you're moving people around, and we move our order based off of who's hot and who's not, so we do that, and then we're trying to protect kids in our order, and we do a good job of that. But those guys that are sitting in that 5, 6, 7 hole, they're expected to produce.
Right.
And we're only trying to protect 1 or 2 people, or we're trying to give them an opportunity to get their confidence back up.
You made a move with Sawyer that moved her from leadoff, where we've seen her a lot of times, to the top half of the lineup, where we've seen her a lot of times, down into the 9 hole. And some people would see that as an opportunity or a problem, and maybe get inside their feelings on that. Mm-hmm. And she responds by really doing well in that role.
She did. And the most interesting thing, when she came up to bat, we had 2 runners on, and we were down, of course, like we've been at the beginning of most games. And I went up to her and I said, look, this is why we put you in this slot. We put you, here's your opportunity. If they've done their scouting report on you, you're going to get pitched around. If they don't, then you're going to have an opportunity to tie the game up or get us some runs because Emma Davis is on deck. Emily DeSalle is in the hole.
They didn't want to get to them.
They don't want to get to those two.
They didn't do their homework.
That's right.
And look what happened. But, I mean, you pitch around her and you get to the top part of that lineup. What do? I mean, you pick your poison.
That's right. That's right. And when they're hot. They've been hot, and they've just been missing it. And we tell them, if they're just missing a shot, hey, just stay the course. Don't change anything you're doing, and that's really what we did over the weekend.
Go back to an earlier statement that you talked about, and it speaks to that mindset. The girls are wanting that last playing date on there. That comes from being there, and you're starting to see that mesh into this group that say, look, okay, we've been there. It's time to get back to that.
Yeah, and that's what, and they know that, right. and that was our challenge last night. We woke up yesterday morning. We were sitting at 12. We beat Oak Hill, and we had some teams, of course, the 10 teams that we lost to accumulated for 16 wins yesterday. So that's the significance of our schedule. When people question why we play who we play, that's why. When you get 16 wins out of 10 opponents in one play
one day, yeah,
you're going to move, and we did. Some
teams will schedule teams that don't win 16 all year. Right. Beside them, just to pad their stats, and it shows they may have a good record on there and then get bounced early on.
Absolutely. So the challenge was going into the Anacoca game, and I normally don't share this, but I did. I said, here's the challenge. We're at 9. We win, we get to 6. That's what you got. That's your job. Your job is how bad do you want to get to 6, and we got to 7. So they did their part, and so we sit at 7 to the next day.
Dude, that's just that is great. What do you have coming up this week?
This week, tomorrow, we'll Buckeye, which will be out of district, and that'll be at home. And then we'll have senior night tomorrow night, Tuesday night against Pickering. Of course, Emily DeSalle being our only senior will represent her and acknowledge her. And then on Wednesday, we will go to Avoyelles. Of course, with Easter coming up, we'll be done after Wednesday. Holy Thursday starts everything in relationship to Catholic religion.
We did look at the lineup a little bit earlier, or your schedule a little bit earlier. You step out of district to take on a pretty formidable opponent.
We always sandwich them in between our district games, and we always do it on a Monday.
Right.
And we find a way to do that, and it's a win-win for us. And some people say, well, originally, there was a little confusion on the schedule. Originally, it was Grace Christian, and it was my mistake because we always play Buckeye on that week. So ended up talking with Mark Rozier, and he had no problem with it, but it's actually Buckeye. And so, we look forward to it. I mean, the challenge is there, and, when you're on the winning streak, you want to see exactly how good are you.
What are you measuring it up against?
Exactly. And so that's kind of where we are. And, the most important thing on this, she struck out 50 little strikeouts aren't there. But if you look at her innings compared to her strikeouts, she's at 98 innings at 105 strikeouts. So she's averaging, a strikeout every inning, and she's doing a phenomenal job. And she knows this, and we talk about this all the time. Last year she had 57 total strikeouts.
Right.
And she's at 105 at 21 games.
I have no words for that. That's just a phenomenal run, and looking forward to continued success. Coach, I want to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to prize, I don't believe, when this one's announced on there, but we'll do all of that when we come back. Guys, you still have time to make it out to Buffalo Wild Wings tonight. We invite you to come out here and take part of this, but if you are watching it, you're watching it here on 446 Sports. We'll be right back.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
We're back here Sunday night, Buffalo Wild Wings, and it is time to talk a little Menard softball and baseball, and it is Menard takeover on Sunday nights here at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's been a lot of fun on there. Coach, got a couple with you too. Coach Julio Ortiz has joined us, and Sophie Giordano joins us as well. Coach, tell me a little bit about Sophie.
Well, you know, the thing about Sophie, she's been with us since she was in the 8th grade, and she's one of those kids that'll grind all the time. You know, one of the things about Sophie that people don't realize, you know, I'm extremely hard on her, probably harder on her than anybody else on the team.
Sophie, is that true?
That is so true.
What do you think is the cause of that?
He has.
You don't know is what you were saying.
No, I really don't. But that's fine. It motivates me.
Does it? Mm-hmm. What do you just, you try to aggravate him a little?
Yes.
Yes. Daily.
It seems like there's a lot of that, though, Coach. It seems like, but you're up for that challenge on there as well. So if you've had a great week, a great couple of weeks, this 8-game win streak that you guys are in, tell me a little bit about that.
I'm very proud of the girls. We stepped up, we're all in, and we're ready for the season.
One of the things that Coach has talked about is that you've been behind in 5 of those games, I believe. So is there any point in there, there's no letdown? It's like, okay, well, we're okay where we're at in a game. There's never any quit in your team.
Right. In the dugout, we're always up. We're cheering everybody on. If someone strikes out, we are like patting them on the back. We're doing everything we can to get them in the game.
Coach, you've talked about the hitting all season that has been there. Tell me about this group and the way they hit the ball, especially Sophie.
Well, the biggest thing, and just to kind of reiterate about Sophie, we're constantly reminding them, hey, don't worry about the last at bat. We got plenty of bats left. You know, we try to simplify it for them. Just make things easy on them and tell them it's going to be okay at the end of the day. I mean, worst thing you can do is go out there and fail, but hey, that happens to everybody.
Look, baseball and softball is made up of that. You're going to fail more than you succeed in there. Look at batting averages. 300 will get you in the Hall of Fame on there. So tell me about the week that Sophie's had, Coach.
Well, this is the thing, you know, when you look back at it, and she was struggling, and she's very hard on herself, and she's always constantly working. And the biggest thing about her was she went, and I mentioned this earlier, she went from batting almost at 200 to batting 500. She's been 14 for 28 in the last 8 games with 13 RBIs. And again, you know, the biggest thing, and when we look at these guys, and like I mentioned about Sawyer and, you know, her opportunity last night and what her and I's conversation, same thing with Sophie. As hard as she was and as much as I got on her, I said, you're going to have another opportunity. And so, of course, when her opportunity came with DeSalle, who had just hit a triple, and we tied the game at 5-5, she's sitting at the plate and she's smiling because she knows with 2 strikes, she's going to find a way to get it in play, and she did. She hit the ball down the line and scored DeSalle. And, you know, when you go 0 for 3, striking out 3 times in a row, not even swinging, and you come back and you get the game winning, that tells me that they don't.
Of those 3 at bats. It couldn't just be outs. It couldn't be strikeouts.
No.
It was straight. Wow.
But that's the ownership of them, and she understands, and they understand. It's never personal.
Right.
It's always, okay, you challenged me, now I'm going to challenge myself. And she did just that, and that's what I like about the entire group. We don't panic. There's no panic in that dugout. Not at all.
What's the difference? What's made the flip with your batting?
Well, the first I was struggling. I worked with him every day after practice, and finally, I guess it starts working.
Well, that's great to see. So for your efforts from there, you've been named our Player of the Week. So Sophie Giordano is our Player of the Week.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So, and Coach, when you see the turnaround on the hitting, when you see that's going on, and the work that they put in, the work that you put in as it relates to that hitting, how does that make you feel?
You know, the biggest thing is just to see a smile on their face whenever they go out there and have success. I enjoy that. That's the thing I like most about it. You know, obviously they're going to fail, but when they have success, man, I'm the first one to go out there and applaud them.
Well, indeed, and it seems to be that hitting is contagious. You guys have hit the ball well all season long.
We have, and you know, that's a testament to this group of young ladies that they work really hard. And it is a grind, and they understand that, but they're not going to give up, and we know that. So we know there's another button that can be pushed, and we just keep pushing our buttons. And in Sophie's case, her confidence right now is unbelievable at the plate. It doesn't matter what she does. She knows she's going to figure it out. And because she's understanding what she needs to fix, it makes it easy for her, and that goes with all of them.
All right, so speaking of a button-pushing question, we'll do that. All right, pretend like he's not here, so I need you to focus. What's your best Coach Scully moment? One of those things that, I hope you got the look on her face when we asked her about that. What's your best Coach Scully memory?
I think it was my 8th grade year. We were practicing, and I missed like 3 ground balls, and I was mad. He said, "Get off my field." And I go and sit down. I'm crying, and I was 13. I was sobbing, and he was like, "You're fine." And then he come talk to me after practice, and he was like, "I still love you." I said, "Okay, sure."
Sure. So as someone that's a little older now, do you see him do that with the younger players, and you sit back and go, "No,
not really.
It was just you"?
Yeah, it's just me.
Wow.
No, and that's fine. That's okay.
So, Coach, we'll ask you the same thing. What's your best Sophie story?
Best Sophie story? Well, you know, this is the thing with Sophie. She's got a lot of stories, but her best story was this. We're playing in a semifinal game at Broussard, St. Julian Park. She's as nervous as all get out, and she hits a home run. And it was a very special day for her. It was her birthday. Am I correct? Nope.
It was about my dad.
It was your dad.
Yeah, my dad.
And so I knew it was your dad, related to your dad.
Right.
And this is the thing. She doesn't talk a whole lot.
Right.
And you caught her off her game with words. But she and I had talked about it before the game. And when she hit the home run, that was when we gave each other our 5 at third base as she was rounded. And that's when we looked at each other, we knew exactly what she was talking about.
Look, that's such great moments on there, and it's in the middle of a special year this year.
Yep.
The one thing, just enjoy. You guys are playing great softball. Can't wait to see that game tomorrow night, and then the rest of them. Sophie, congratulations on being our Player of the Week, and thank you for stopping by and being part of the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will wrap up this initial segment and let those baseball guys take over, whatever. See, now, as a baseball guy myself, but I'm softball tonight, so we're loving this. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Around the Diamond. That's it with Scully and Marks right here on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
And we are back here at Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday night, and I've seen the wings go by a lot. Boy, that makes it difficult, doesn't it?
It does.
Have you tried the new, or have you eaten wings since that night?
I actually have. I ate the wings last week.
Did you?
My wife had ordered some.
You had the blazing?
Oh, no.
No, absolutely not.
That's never been the same. No, but I did have some. They were really good. I mean,
we tried the honey sriracha tonight. That's a new flavor that they've came out with just since the season started, and certainly enjoy those. But you sit back when we were 5-10 on the season, and there wasn't a bit of uneasiness out of you at that point. Now you've put things together, sitting at 12-10, 4-0 in district play. Give me your assessment on the season and where you guys are at so far.
You know, I'm very excited, very happy. You know, it's all about the process, and it's always been that for us. You know, believe it, we are real old school coaches when it comes down to it, and that's why we have such a great relationship when it comes to the processes of what we do. We have a very good team.
Right.
We really do. And they know that. But the thing is to get everybody on the same page. And like I said before, when you have so many things going with from 12 years old to 18 years old, you have so many things going on.
A lot of moving parts.
It is. And you know, and we knew they had that in their bag. And so for it to come together and, you know, it's still constantly moving. You know, everybody's at full strength except for Sawyer. And, you know, we get Sawyer back to full strength, and she doesn't trip over herself, maybe bump her knee during the game. And, you know, every time she goes down, you know, I go down because I'm like, okay, what are we going? Are you good? And she's always good, but you know, she's not going to change what she does, and she's a grinder. But
she's
it's
full
the whole
speed
process.
ahead, no matter where she's at. So things are going to happen that way.
Absolutely, court or dirt, it doesn't matter.
That's correct.
But it's getting everybody else too. You know, you've got you've got Addie Wright, who's doing a great job. You've got Davis
on the show last week. That's right.
You got Davis, who's doing a great job. You got Annabelle Drago down at the bottom of the order. Season Fiascanero, who's just putting the ball in play. You know, when kids put the ball in play, we've got some really good team speed, and we're put pressure on other teams. It makes a difference because we do have some big hitters. We've got some girls that can put it up against the wall.
Yep.
And even the smallest of the smallest can. And so very, very happy with our process. And I think confidence is the difference. You know, when we were 5-10, I was fine.
That's right.
You heard her say she was pressing.
That's right.
It's so for us, we know it if they would just believe in it and just stay the course.
And that's a large part of it too, especially because you've got a lot of younger players. And Coach Julio, when you guys are up there, he talks about the word confidence.
Right.
I've not seen a confidence lack inside the box when they've been hitting the ball at all. What kind of routine do you go through with these young ladies? Not to give out all the secrets.
No. It's funny because at the beginning of the year, it was just the opposite.
Right.
You know, we were trying to find a way to get them to buy in and you know, tell them, you know, confidence is the only thing we're lacking. But now we've got them on a set routine. They know exactly our expectations. And, you know, in the few that struggle, I'll pull them off aside personally, and I'll work with them individually and make sure they're back on track.
So you talk about players that are on the field, captains, different things like that. Who are the people that you go to, like, we don't even need to go out there? They got it. Who's the leader out there that you know that's your coach that's out on the field?
You're asking me that question?
I'm asking both of y'all that, yeah.
That's a good question.
It depends on which game it is.
That's right.
So
Because they all lead in their own way, believe it or not.
Well, no, that's the answer to it, too. You've got a team full of people that if this leader may be down, well, somebody else is picking them up.
Sure.
And we've seen, and Menard's been that way, Grace has been that way, a lot of these schools that are the smaller schools are that way. Classification has nothing to do with it. You may have a freshman or a sophomore and an eighth grader that's leading out there. Do you see some of the younger players picking up some of the older players?
All the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What do you think? What puts that into these players?
A lot of it is just the team bonding.
Right.
You know, once they get used to being around each other, you can kind of see their eyes light up whenever they're out there playing, and they pretty much take care of that, you know, within the group themselves.
Right. How excited are you knowing that the future's still ahead of you? I mean, you've got a lot of softball left in this year. District championship is within sight. A deep run in the state playoffs, the state championship is in sight. That's got to make it good to go to work every day.
It is very good. And the biggest thing right now is staying healthy, which is what we've been blessed with up to this point. And the thing is, we know when to push them, and they know when to push themselves. But the biggest thing is their confidence. And, you know, when you have the confidence that they have right now, if one of them's having a bad game, they don't hesitate to tell the other one, I got your back, and I've got you. Don't worry about it.
Look, it just sounds like a lot of fun. A lot of people get up Monday morning and go, it's Monday. We got to get back to work. You guys go to the office, and you got a big ball game tomorrow night. So How is it going into work?
The coaching part is fun.
We'll let that be. We'll leave that right where it's at. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm sorry I didn't have Blazing Hot Wings for you tonight on there,
I'm
Coach.
good.
We'll work on something. They've got a burger here that we're going to have to work on, some sort of a challenge for that. I couldn't get any takers except for you and Coach Marks on there. But again, we appreciate you opening up your program to us and sharing a little bit of this season with us here at 446 Sports, Coach. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys for doing this, and appreciate what you do for lady softball and baseball in our area. So thank you, Doug, and 446 Sports.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you. That means a lot. Guys, that's going to wrap up the softball segment. Again, congratulations out to Sophie Giordano. She is our Player of the Week. Congratulations to Sophie. A lot of pictures, we'll have those posted up, and that little video that we do, we'll get it all posted tonight. We can't post it earlier in the day because that gives away and it takes the surprise out of it on here, but we'll get that posted up tonight. Softball folks, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for coming out. When we come back, it'll be Nick and the guys talking a little baseball right here on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here for Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. But you know what? We're going to make it Scully and Scully tonight. So welcome to the show. Drew, appreciate you coming out. Coach Jordan has family duty.
Absolutely.
And Coach Brad's also on family duty, which he did a great job filling in last week. But he's Danny Clear. I'm Nick McNano. All right, now we have Danny. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you through the headset, but.
Oh, you're saying I was too loud, huh?
All right, there we go.
All right, here we go. All right, all the technical difficulties up. So, Coach Drew Scully's with us. Appreciate you, taking the time out, in relief duty here, coming from practice. You said some of the guys were actually hitting and fielding as well, but man, what a good week it was. I know it was a short week, but you guys got back on a winning track and a big day. So let's talk about Iota first.
It's a good game. Iowa is a very good. They're a very good program. A well coached. They're just, they're rolling hot. I think they were 16-1 hitting the Menard, and they threw their guy. They threw their best punch. We threw our best punch, and we finally got on the other side of that game. So it felt good. It felt happy for our guys. Nate Bilbo stepped up, able to walk off the game for us, give us a huge win.
Yep. So let's talk about the sequence. Cooper. Can you hear me?
I can hear now.
Okay.
Turn Danny up.
So we'll talk about the sequence of that game. Of course, Cooper comes in, pitches a great game. I mean, just the one inning, giving up the one run. But outside of that, he was very efficient, just like he always is, filling up the zone. Then we get into the seventh inning. I think Drake grounds out to start off with, and then Case gets a big single. And then I think what was important is the threat of the running game finally come through. We didn't get a stolen base, but we got the error on the pickoff, advanced him to second base. Then he goes to third on the ground ball. And then obviously we know Nate, I thought, we talked about it during the game, I thought he was pretty uncommitted on a couple swings on the fastball, but then he must have saw the last one. So talk us through that.
So Nate's he's a great guy for our program. He got into a tough count. He was behind early. The Wall kid had a pretty good breaking ball. It's pretty tight spin on the breaking ball, hard to pick up early. But with the threat of walking it off on a pass ball, they really stayed away from it. And they kind of went more fastball heavy. Then he got into a 3-2 count, had nowhere to put him. So once he knew that, he was comfortable in his swing and took his approach and drove it backside.
Yeah, and you guys have been on the wrong end of those like 3 times this year. So it was good to finally come through. Then you ended up with a doubleheader against the Vols, obviously because Thursday the weather, which ended up being a great decision as well. Kind of started out a little slow, but let's talk about the first Vols game.
Yeah, it's no disrespect, it's the Vols, but we come out, you still got to come out and play. So our guys, the big thing is trying to get them focused. I see a lot of people, some people play up, some people play down. So just trying to keep our guys to stay even keel when they play. Come out throwing strikes, make the routine play, and then get into the right counts and just trying to drive the baseball. I think right now we're trying to do too much at the plate. We've been preaching a lot more just putting the ball in play. Just find a way to put the ball in play, give yourself a chance. And I think our guys are finally starting to commit to that and getting in better counts. And, it's been paying off for us. So since then, I think we've been pretty solid.
So I thought there's a couple good things from that game. Of course, Cohen finally gets his first win, which, he's been tough luck and coming up into the end, just going against the other teams' aces or some of the better teams we played. But he finally got his first win. And then after the game, I didn't realize it until I looked at the box score. Every batter in the lineup had a hit that game. And so that was good to see the bats get going.
Absolutely. Right now, our batting average is pretty rough, right? People look at our stats and our season, look at last year, and they're like, what's going on, right? But it's just one of those things, it's going to come with time, and I think we finally, you don't want to heat up too early. Everybody talks about getting hot at the right time. I think we're just starting to roll right into that, and then right around the corners of playoffs, and then we're going to jump all over that. And
how important that schedule is, how rough that schedule was, and like you talked about. So, and pitching's usually ahead of hitting, whenever the season starts. But being that position, that shows how much Coach Danny, he had said on the broadcast that of the 8 losses, everybody was in the top 5 of their division. So talk about your schedule as well.
It's a tough schedule, and we knew that going in. The whole point is to face as many arms as we can, and that's always been the goal. You go down and face Barb, and you face St. Louis in a 3-game set, and you go play North DeSoto. You're going to get their best punch. They know what you have, and you play them all summer. So our guys played summer ball with their guys, and everybody knows each other. So there's no secret about us. Everybody knows how much we returned and all of that. So we go down there expecting their best punch and just being able to compete. And like I said, I understand a few of those games, they slip through the cracks that you're up by 3 runs in St. Louis and we give that up. And North DeSoto, we left, I think, 8 guys on base.
Struck out 10.
Yeah.
10
I mean,
times.
just the games like that, like they're top 5, they're great ball clubs, but like we're also right there. Even though, like I said, we're at 6, realistically, I think we should be top 3, top 4. But at the end of the day, it's just a number. You're still going to have to go out there and play no matter what spot you're at. So everybody, if you want to be the best team, you got to go out there and compete.
And speaking of, we didn't talk about the last game against Bulls yet, but Michael Henry comes out, throws a good game, and then, of course, we kind of talked about it, joked about it in the broadcast, is that you said it just now, talked about all the arms you've seen, everything, and then you had to come in and make the adjustment against the Bulls, and that was, those guys were, you could tell they were struggling with the pace and the curveball, and it took them a while to get going in that game.
Yeah, they had to get adjusted, and that's the thing. But that's most programs, right? Sometimes you get a soft lefty on the mound, and it gives teams that face faster hitting a little bit of trouble. One of my old coaches he was always a big soft lefty guy. You go play a game against Bart, throw a soft lefty, because they're not getting that. They're getting everybody's best punch. So when you throw that up, it's a little counter, but good teams find a way to make adjustments. And like you said, everybody had a hit. So I'm pretty happy and content with that. Mike Henry also pitched a really good game, and I believe who else came into the pitch of that game? Was it Tishner or was it?
No, that was
Henry,
the week before.
Henry, yeah,
that was
Henry.
Henry the whole game, right? Okay.
Yeah. Cohen and Henry both finished that. It was the week before. We talked to Coach Turney about J.D. Shelton coming in and Tishner coming in, and how big it was get those freshmen get some innings in a meaningful game.
Absolutely, the guys have been stepping up, and they show their work. And not a lot of light gets shined on those JV games, right? They get that JV word thrown out, so some people don't throw light on it, but those guys compete, man, and they compete well, and they got the opportunity, and they've been making the most of it.
Well, speaking of experience, we have 2 more seniors here tonight. And we have Trey Curley, we have Carter Marcantel. Talk about them for just a second, and then we'll go to break. So.
There's some definitely one-of-a-kind characters over there. Trey Curley's like a jack of all trades. He's a guy we just, wherever we need a spot for, we know he's going to fill it, whether it's second base, shortstop, coming in to run in a clutch situation. Trey Curley is usually our guy we turn to. And then Carter Marcantel is a one-of-a-kind character for sure. Besides this year, which it's early, but Carter's one of those guys that's got sneaky pop that nobody wants to really give him the credit for. I think the guy from St. Louis found that out the hard way. But Carter Marcantel's a really good player for us, especially early in the order. We have a lot of confidence in his bat at the plate, and there's a big reason why he's in that DH spot. So.
Excellent. Well, we'll have them up here in just a second. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. We're now joined by 2 seniors, Carter Marcantel to my immediate left and Trey Curley. Welcome on the show. Welcome to the show, guys. Man, this is the serious stuff. I mean, this is all business here. Okay, favorite food, not a place. Favorite food. What you have, Carter?
Probably gonna go steak, mashed potatoes.
That's a good one. That's what we have, Trey.
Same thing.
Same
steak,
things.
Baked
Okay.
potatoes.
Good
Steak and taters.
Good old Southern boys here. All right, so now this is a new one that I haven't asked anybody. Okay, prom was Friday night. Best dancer on the team, Carter.
Me.
You? I'm not. Don't find that hard to believe.
I'm gonna have to give it to Carter.
Oh wow! Come on, Trey.
Carter's got some moves.
Well then, Coach Dan, why don't you talk to them about their
So a little baseball. So finally coming back some, getting some field time. How's it feel to be back playing some in the field?
It feels good. Makes the games go faster. Feels like I'm more involved.
How was it? I never was the DH. I was always in the field. How was it DHing? How did you like that?
It's hit or miss. Some games, you don't want to be in the field, but
Yeah.
like in the good ones, the close games, it's pretty fun to be out there.
Okay. And Trey, you've been playing a lot of second base for him this year. Whenever Cohen's been pitching, and so as far as second baseman, what's your favorite play? Do you like to go to your backhand, or are you going to go forehand? Or
So last game, I had a forehand ball, and I just like I like the forehand ball, one that I can kind of get on my, try to dive forward, trying to make a play.
Okay.
So.
And so we talked about, and we were waiting for you to come on. What's your walk-up song?
Suavemente by Elvis Crespo.
Yeah. So Trey, we ain't got to hear yours yet. What is your walk-up song?
Rookie of the Year by Moneybagg Yo. So,
All right. So outside of yours, who's got the best walk-up song?
I like Cooper's and I like Cohen's.
Okay.
I like those two.
What about you?
I like Cooper's.
Cooper?
I like Cooper's.
All right.
Project Pat.
Talk about your injury. Your shoulder. So no side effects right now. It's still 75%, 80%. What you think?
I really don't know.
Don't know?
I just got to stretch it like a lot before I try and throw. And it'll gradually like just get tighter.
Not nervous about throwing though. No.
I can't really re-injure it. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to get He's already heard it enough.
So, all right. So, Trey, favorite Menard baseball experience?
Definitely going to Sulphur last year.
Okay.
And we haven't been there a while, so making it there was pretty fun.
Okay.
It was a good experience. So.
Carter?
Probably the Rose Pine walk-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's twice. That's twice. What?
Yeah.
Talking about Rose Pine.
Got the Vernon Parish boys coming into town this week. So,
Coach Danny's got a connection there. Their coach was his best man, and so we need some bragging rights after this week, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So,
We got you.
Talking about Rose Pine. So Trey, so like the past couple of years, been district rival. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I mean these are a little bit bigger.
Yes, sir. So Rose Pine's always been a big game for us. They're a good ball club. They're scrappy. They play the game the right way, but district's a good time for us. We catch a lot of wins during district, so I'm hoping we can go in district and do the same thing as last year.
What about
beat
you?
Rose Pine.
I know you talked about the walk off. So what this is a big one for you?
Yeah, I mean it's our most difficult opponent.
I got you. Okay. So.
they don't have Fry anymore, so that's that's a good thing.
He did well, and let's talk about that as well. Talking about the district, okay? You guys started out slow, obviously going into the season, okay? Now you're number 6 in PR, which I know you guys aren't supposed to get wrapped up in that, but the season is progressing, a lot better now. So what do you think the difference from the first part of the season to now is?
I'd probably say our hitting. The time was off in the early season. I feel like we're starting to come around, and we were playing some really good ball clubs in the beginning.
No, for sure, and the arms are probably stout. Yeah. Pretty good arms. What about you, Trey? What you think's happening?
Probably the same thing. Definitely hitting. We weren't making good swings, watching fastballs, and we're kind of starting to come together and figure that out. So.
Okay. What? So we'll go a little back to off baseball. Well, still baseball. So what's the best baseball movie?
Sandlot. I love the Sandlot.
All right. I'm a Sandlot guy. I would probably say that's it. But I will say this: anytime Moneyball's on, just for the story, I'll watch Moneyball.
Yeah.
All right, favorite character on Sandlot?
Squints. Mine too. Squints. Yeah.
Not the Jet. Nobody likes the Jet.
No, Wendy Peppercorn is, that
Exactly.
Squints is an idol for that.
I like the catcher. I got to say, I like the catcher. But going to school, where are you planning on attending, Carter?
I'm going to LSU.
Going to LSU? Okay.
Yeah.
Be a student. What you majoring in?
Student, probably major in pre-med.
Oh wow, man! I'll tell you what, we've got
Making some good connections.
I know
man.
we have, man. We just don't need to say the wrong thing on the broadcast. That way, when they become surgeons and stuff, they
I
don't
remember when.
Yeah. What about you, Trey?
LSU. Me and
Okay.
Carter are rooming together.
Okay, well that's cool. Okay, what's your major going to be?
Construction management.
Hey, nothing wrong with that
Yep,
either.
yep.
So,
So you're rooming together. You already picked out the dorm?
Yes, sir.
Where y'all staying?
I don't know the name of it, but
We want to stay, I think it's Azalea.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
But we went down there last week for orientation, and it was fun. So.
Okay.
they're going to be one of 20,000 students down there. So.
Hey,
Yeah.
having a good time in the fall at football games.
Yes, sir.
And so, yeah.
Have you been to LSU baseball games? Okay.
Me and Carter went to one last year. Drove
Okay.
up there for the game and stayed at my sister's house. So that was fun.
That's pretty fun. That's good. Tiger Stadium, you've been
Yes,
there too?
sir.
All right, so Saturday night Tiger Stadium or a big game in Alex Box? Alex Box.
Saturday night in Death Valley. Gotta go Saturday night. Yeah,
It's hard to compare to
Can't beat
that.
it.
Regardless of the atmospheric box, it's
Yeah.
hard to compare to the Death Valley.
No, that's right. Well, guys, we appreciate you, one, allowing us to be part of your season and coming on the show. You guys did a really good job, and so we're gonna go to a break. You're watching Around the Diamond with Scully and Marks on 446 Sports.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. Property Settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems?
Wild Wings for Around the Diamond with traditionally Scully and Marks, but we're going Scully and Scully. So appreciate
Sounds
Coach
like
Scully.
a TV show.
That does, that's right. So before we bring on your dad into the conversation, let's talk about this week just real quick. Rose Pine, man, big week.
I got a couple calls today. We talked to a couple coaches about them. You know, they're a quality club, another well-coached club. You know, they're historically successful, so it's going to be a good matchup for us. Luckily, it's a short week for us because of the Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Easter Sunday. So we play them Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to go LaRue Tuesday and Cooper Scott Wednesday. And the best thing about it is you can destroy your whole bullpen. Everybody's available. So we're going to go at these two as best we can and hopefully come out with a win.
So over the past couple of years, this is pretty much decided the district.
As of late, Glen Mora, Coach West over there, they have a good program as well. They always find a way to sneak in that conversation. I don't like to go without a stone unturned. So I don't like to jump into that. But no, we still got to go out there, compete, and play our best game.
Good answer.
Coach speak. Yeah.
Coach Danny's, the coach of Rose Pine was Coach Danny's best man. I don't know if you heard that. So
I probably could give enough information to the guys to probably get under his skin, but I'm going to keep that to me right now. We grew up playing summer ball together, went to practically live with Jeff during the summers, and then we went to college, played college together. best man at my wedding. Just real close with Jeff. When he come to town, I'd come over and watch a lot of Menard Rose Pine baseball games. But I'm gonna try to get him on, or maybe early before the game on Tuesday, and cut up with him and bring up some past memories that he might not remember. But we'll definitely talk a little baseball before the game. But I'm here for Menard and rooting for them, but I can't give away some of the nicknames and stuff we used to have with Jeff.
All right, so before we bring your dad on, is it true that Jordan course record?
It is. He's 5 under. But so Coach Turney set the bar high. He set it at 4 under. I tied the course record, and then Coach Marks did happen to take it. Now, last week, Coach Marks didn't bring his best game to the course, and I did happen to beat him with another 4 under. So
okay, that's
look.
I have it over him right now.
I heard, I might have, been the one to bring it up, but I heard that there might be some controversy with some cork bats because there was some new bats being used. And I thought maybe, afterwards we heard it and we said, those bats need to get tested.
Well, Coach Marks, we got some new fungos, courtesy of Marucci. Thank them for everything, but got some new fungos that just came in. So, had hit the course with a brand new driver that didn't really like it just yet, but I'm going to get stoned in with it.
Get used to it. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, Coach Thomas Scully, great turnaround you guys have had. I know we've talked about, we've covered that with your softball team. I saw this week where your daughter had a great award at LSUA. And talk about this boy. Talk about, let us know a little bit of dirt that you can say on camera about him, but also here's a time for you to brag on your son.
Yeah, the thing about Drew Scully is, he's always been a workaholic when it comes to baseball at a very, very, very early age. Probably when he was learning how to walk, he was sitting in front of a TV watching the game. And that was, he wasn't watching Barney or when we watched Flintstones or all those shows. He was actually watching baseball. And, the thing with Drew is he's always loved the game. He's a grinder of it. He gets into it. He stays on the phone. He's always trying to find the next best information on it. And this is the thing about it. He's passionate about it. And, I love it because he'll get fired up and I just kind of take it in and say, look, make sure you cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and before you get too mad, because there's a reason behind everything. And, he's fired up. He's got that fiery energy in him. And, from time to time, he'll tell me stories about getting on players. And I've been there, done that. And I'll try to talk him off the ledge of hey, don't get on him too hard because different time, different era. But Drew is definitely, he's a scholar of the game. And very proud of where he is. He'll graduate this spring, and Daniel's already there making his mark in coaching at Marksville and doing a great job and loves it. And Drew is going to do the same thing, and I think they're both going to be very successful. Thing about coaching, you're not in it for the money for sure. Even though they try to tell me that all the time, they're trying to find out ways to make more money, but not going to happen. But anyway, the thing is when you love it like we do, and that's just in our family. We love it. We've done it. My wife used to get upset with me all the time. Sonia, she would say, what are you doing? I'd be watching ESPN, and they'd be sitting right there with me. You go watch a show, we're watching ESPN. And so we've done that. And, when you come into our house, we've probably got 5 or 6 TVs, but somewhere in that house, we've got a sporting event on somewhere. Now, they watch a lot more basketball than I do, but I love to watch. I'll watch anything but basketball, and sometimes I'll go ahead and get on their level and watch basketball with them.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that I always tell my kids. Okay, I always tell my kids, utilize my gray hair. I want them to learn things, on their own. Okay, utilize your dad's gray hair and his beard. Okay, yeah. There are certain things, there are certain things that sometimes just somebody would experience can teach you, so you don't have to go down that road. Now, there's other things like touching the stove. You're gonna do that when you're a kid. But man, that's a great story. Did you ever coach Drew?
I did coach Drew. I was very fortunate. We had a very good run early in the Dixie youth years. We were able to go to the World Series twice when he was 10 and 13, and we finished 3rd and 5th. And that was probably the best memories. Having Dylan, Daniel, and Drew, and then Sophia. I really coached the boys when they were younger. I always wanted our kids, and my wife and I have always been like this. We wanted them to experience it on their own. We wanted somebody else to coach them. If we had the opportunity to coach them, good, but we wanted them to do all that learning on their own. But I did. I was very fortunate to coach Drew. I wasn't as fortunate. I did coach Daniel a little bit. I didn't coach Dylan very much at all. But Drew and I spent a lot of time together when he was between the ages of 9 and 14. We spent a lot of summers together. That was our vacation, playing ball and going to the World Series, chasing Dumbos in Orlando at Disney World, and then going up to North Carolina and being on Pinehurst 2 course with Daniel. Daniel was when he made the All-Star team, and then we went down to South Carolina. Yeah, Charleston. So we went North Carolina, South Carolina, and down to Florida. The best times, the best memories ever. Had some of the greatest parents, but great kids. Those kids were phenomenal that we had the pleasure of coaching. And that was some of the best times. And, then I coached Drew in football when I was at Sacred Heart, and because I was already coaching softball. So great competitor. And this is the thing. He don't like to lose. I love it. He's very passionate. He does just what I do. He stays on the phone. I know he's always trying to get scouting reports for Jordan or trying to get information. And he's doing it the right way. He's respecting the people that he's been with. The opportunity to be the first Scully in our family to win a state championship. His first year of coaching. Hey, I want them to experience all that. I've never experienced it, but it's okay. I want them to experience it because that's something that will keep them in the game.
Yeah, one thing, we've traveled all over the Southeast with soccer to win a state championship. I would think that, I would feel as strong about me winning one personally, but
Sure.
watching them, it's just another thing. It's just another level.
The only thing we hated, we wasn't there. We were tied up with something, so we were not able to be there. But the minute he walked off that field, he was calling. We were listening to the game, but we wasn't there, physically there.
Gotcha.
But he couldn't wait to let us know.
I want to put a plug in for more baseball, softball, home games, same time.
Yes.
I say we had as much fun listening and watching the scoreboard the other night when y'all were playing Oakdale than we did calling that game because, it was a good game. We were happy the Eagles were winning over on the baseball field, but we kept, turning and seeing the scoreboard, hearing the drums, or the buckets getting beat, so we enjoyed that. So we want more double action out there so we can update parents and on both sides. So.
I like your playlist better than ours. Well, guys, we definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate you allowing us, Coach Scully. Appreciate you allowing us to be part of the softball program as well. This has been another great night at Buffalo Wild Wings for Around the Diamond with Coach Marks and Coach Scully. He's Danny Clear, Coach Thomas Scully, Coach Drew Scully. I'm Nick McNana. You all have a good night. May the Lord bless you.